And the episode with Joe Rogan is up right now. And honestly, dude, the Joe Rogan episode, I'm going to be fully 100% honest with you. Me and Yannis bombed. Okay? I mean, we were taking big swigs and we were bombing. We are back.
Baby, I'm a baby. It's all about me. Everybody else sucks.
Can I take a peek?
Can I smell?
Yeah, you can smell. Come take a sniff.
Take a smell. Yeah, you want me to go on the other side?
Come take a sniff.
They smell good.
Yeah, that's right. Get in there.
Yeah, they smell
Wow. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Dr. Squatch is legit.
If 2024 was the year of allegations and class warfare, then 2025 is the year of humiliation rituals. We're barely 5 minutes into the new year, and Joe Rogan is setting the standard for the top 250 comedy assassins. If you want to keep your seat at the table, sniffing Joe Rogan's farts is no longer gonna cut it. You've got to sniff his armpits. And so our boy Chrissy D found himself in the hot seat for the 4th time since his initiation back in 2022. Except this time he went on with his buddy Yannis Pappas, who's made 5 previous appearances, to promote their podcast History Hyenas, which they relaunched around 2 months ago. But for those of you who don't know Chrissy D, he can be a bit of a nervous wreck at the best of times, even when he first came across this channel.
Oh, wow, there's a whole site called Podcast Cringe?
Yeah, I subscribe to them.
Yeah, no, this guy rules. He's a great channel. He like covers pretty much all the content.
And what does he do?
These are probably your friends, so you could cut out whatever if I trash any of your friends.
No,
but
you can trash.
Andrew Schultz, he put out a special and he sold it for the first 2 weeks, and he told his fans it'll never come out publicly.
Okay.
And then he just dropped it publicly, so he made millions of dollars off his fans, and then just gave it out to everyone for free. So there was a good episode about that. Joe Rogan's in everyone because he put all these guys on, and it's like all of them go on the show. And that's
So
how
it's
they get
better
famous.
if you're not on this. It's better if you're not a part of
You
this.
don't want to be on this.
Okay.
So this is only the second video on this channel that Chris has appeared on. The first was when I covered his appearance on Jake Paul's podcast, and Chris just gave him shit the whole time, which was top tier level trolling. And this seems to be the trend with him. He goes on podcasts and just talks absolute trash, very similar to Theo Von and Tim Dillon, except with Chris, it's difficult to tell when he's being serious compared to those other guys. I think a lot of that comes from anxiety though, which he's openly talked about himself. He gets nervous and ends up running his mouth. At times it almost looks as if he has no control over what he's saying. The words are just coming out.
I've been taking shots at The Rock, dude.
You think you could get up
The Rock up, dude. I'm sick of him.
Wait, why are you sick of him?
Well, it started a long time ago, but I was hungover one day, waking up in a hotel, and I just, looked at Instagram.
Yeah.
It's just The Rock. He's like, disrupting in my iron paradise. I was like, this guy. I was just like, shut the up.
Up.
Good God.
Yeah.
And then he posts like cheat day videos.
Yeah, and it's
He's
like,
I earned this, and he just eats cookies and shit. It's like, dude, you're in Fast and Furious movies in the WWF.
shut up.
Relax on yourself.
He definitely comes off as a dude who just goes with the flow, and so on his latest appearance on JRE, everyone was in fine form. Rogan was missing jokes left, right, and center, while Chrissy and Yannis were trying their hardest to crack the code and make him laugh.
We were bombing. And it got to the point where we had so many jokes that missed that we were starting to just do it for each other. And every time one of us, like Yannis made a Wegovy joke, Yannis goes, yeah, I think for Christmas this year, I'm going to put Wegovy in all my family stockings. And I was like, and Joe was like, why would you do that? And just stared at the both of us. And then I was kicking him under the table. I was like, ah.
I'm actually giving for Christmas a few of my friends Wegovy.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm joking, but.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a nice bomb.
It was a nice bomb. But at least we're not talking about grizzly bears. If we're talking about grizzly bears, I know I'm really bombing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this.
And then, dude, I had a couple of ones that bombed hard. I did this one where I just started ripping a Korean accent, and it was an awful Korean accent. Giannis was laughing, and Joe was just looking at me smoking his cigar, just watching. I felt like I was doing a Korean accent in front of like my high school principal. I was just absolutely bombing.
I can't believe Yannis actually said that to Rogan's face. That's some serious balls right there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a theory that whenever Rogan's getting bored of his guests or they're bombing, or he just doesn't give a fuck about whatever they have to say, he'll start talking about grizzly bears and tell Jamie to pull up videos so he can fill the episode and pass the time to hit that 3-hour mark. but I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually say it to Joe's face on the podcast. And Chris even took it a step further towards the end of the episode because he thought they were bombing so badly, he changed the topic of conversation and leaned into it.
If you were going to get eaten by, would you rather it be an animal or a human?
Yeah.
Oh, boy,
You have to
animal.
get eaten.
An animal.
You don't want a cannibal to
Yeah, I
eat
don't
you?
want some guy knowing he's eating me.
Yeah.
that.
You don't want him to have that
That's
power.
interesting.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alligator. Crocodile.
Quick. It would
Yeah.
be quick. How
Why,
about a
'cause they
hippo?
Just
Hippo would
snap you in half. You'd
Yeah.
be dead in
They
seconds.
drown you, right?
Yeah, they just rip you apart.
But let's go back to the beginning of the podcast because just before the armpit sniffing humiliation ritual, Rogan initiated Chrissy D into manhood by teaching him how to smoke a cigar. The only thing funnier than seeing Rogan constantly bomb in ordinary conversation with comedians is how he acts like a real tough guy with violence in his DNA. For a guy who stands at 5'3" on a good day, it makes it hard to take him seriously when he acts like the big guy on campus.
Are we up? This is Chris Distefano's very first time ever
Okay.
lighting and smoking a cigar.
This-
How old are you?
40.
How have you managed to get this far with no cigars?
I don't know how to do any like really guy shit like that. Like I don't know how to play pool, cigars. I don't really know how to do that, but I do know every state capital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Light
Is
that
this
cigar.
the right way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lower your hand. Yeah. Are you doing this on purpose?
I swear on my kids, I've never
Okay.
done this.
No, I mean the way you're being retarded. Like, get the fire on the.
There we go. Right on there. Yeah.
Get it on there. All right, you're good. Just start pulling.
Now suck
No,
it.
you're not good. How did you that up?
What am I saying? What am I supposed to do? Smoke it?
You gotta inhale while you're
All right, come on.
lighting it. You just kind of take a
Having
deep
fun with him.
breathe in while you're doing that. I felt into the thing. Jesus Christ. I don't know. How do you get to be 40 and never have a cigar?
Well, now he's a man. Now you're a man.
So what do I do now?
Puff on it.
You puff on it.
It's not even lit. How did you that up? You
I just
tried to
sorry,
light it
Joe.
for 5 minutes. There you go. Take some little puffs.
Yeah.
This is not going to work out well. Couple puffs.
Yeah.
Take a puffs.
He's gonna light the whole
there
thing.
You go.
Now you're
puff,
good.
Puff. Puff. Keep puffing. Keep it lit. You want to keep it lit? There we go. Yannis knows.
You know what it
How do
is?
you get to be 40 and no cigars?
I think because my dad never really smoked or anything like that. It's in the
Don't
back.
cry. Don't start crying.
No, it's in the back of my throat. My dad never really smoked, and I never really did any like man kind of stuff like this. And I was with my mom mostly, and she was more, you
the
know,
way you said that. I was like, my mom.
history. I know. Well, it's just I got cigar in the back of my throat.
So the first 30 minutes of the episode was Chrissy leaning into not being a real man and playing along with Joe's humiliation rituals. Shortly after the cigar bullying, Rogan made them all sniff his armpits, and the best part for me was how he only grew a few inches from sitting to standing. No wonder he rarely leaves the studio. But if you've seen Chris in previous interviews and podcasts, and even in his stand-up comedy, he talks a lot about his father and how tough he was on him. He hints that his dad was involved in organized crime and tells stories about all the dodgy shit he used to get up to. He's even spoken openly about how he used to get hit when he messed up, and so he was clearly trolling Rogan by pretending he was more in touch with his feminine side and how he's not a real man like Joe is. And as you've probably already guessed it, Rogan ate it up and took him on face value, even though it was so obvious that Chrissy was just talking trash. And this is what I love about comedians like Chrissy D. He tests the waters to see how far he can push the room with his bullshit, and then he slowly keeps edging that boundary out further and further.
There's certain faces that are easier to hurt.
Yeah.
Right,
And
but-
his got a good jaw.
But you know, there's arguments against that. Like, there's some guys have small jaws, and somehow or another they take great punches.
I'm scared to sleep with the lights off, so I don't. I think if I got hit,
You look like you take a good shot, though.
I-
the structure's good.
Yeah.
what my defense is, not against guys like you, if you don't know me, what my defense is, I look like I can take
You
a
look
punch,
like you could be a complete psychopath.
and I don't know any.
like
I
if
don't,
I could teach you how to like really
Right.
find your inner psycho, you'd scare the out
first
of
you got to
people.
teach me how to light a cigar. I don't even know how to do that.
There's something dead behind your eyes that's very troubling if you were angry.
When I get really angry, like you'll punch a wall or you'll do man shit, I cry. I really, there's been many times where I've gotten so mad that I just start to tear up and cry. I've cried in front of Yannis before.
When you get angry?
When I get angry, I just start to cry. So there's some wires crossed somewhere in me, but we've kind of accepted. That's why I think our friendship is blossomed to the way it is because we both understand that we just have a little bit more estrogen than most guys, and that's okay.
We got nicked for sure. I mean,
we got nicked by the
some
gay
people
gene.
get fully clipped. I think we got nicked.
Joe didn't get it at all. It's very usually hard to be funny and not a little bit of a feminine guy. You're a very manly guy that can be funny.
Yeah.
That's a rarity, babe.
Yeah.
Well, most guys that if you like hang around boxing gyms or if you hang around a lot of cops or if you hang around soldiers, they're funny, man.
We always say that, like, if we were like back in history, like 200 years ago, or whatever, we'd be the guys in the war. We'd either be hitting the drums or we would just be keeping the troops loose, laughing with the troops, because we're not the kind of guy. We think we have value as men to other warrior men like yourself, but we're not going to do the fighting, but we will do the cooking, the cleaning, and the laughing.
But
And
it's
I will
also-
offer my nuts up to be a eunuch to watch the harem.
It's also the experiences that you've had in your life
Right.
that make you who you are right now.
Fuck me dead, Joe. Loosen up, mate. Have a laugh. Jesus. Bro just said he'd give up his nutsack to watch over the women. As usual, though, things got worse, because if it's not bad enough that Rogan misses 95% of the banter that fills his studio, he insists on reminding everyone how important it is for him to talk shit with comics. This will forever make me cringe. Listening to Joe waxing lyrical about how funny his buddies are and how he couldn't live without them has to be one of the most ironic topics of conversation on his podcasts. The only thing that comes close was how he explained to all of us how dialed in he was in preparation for his comedy special Burn the Boats last year. It took him 6 years to trim the fat and tighten it up into a lean 1-hour set of straight up bangers. By the time he walked out on stage in his dad's shirt, he was basically a SEAL team sniper, dropping members of the audience one by one with every punchline. And so when he told us for the 587th time about how much he needs to talk shit with other comics to soothe his comedy brain, Yannis and Chrissy actually pulled him up on something. It was so refreshing to finally have someone not just sit there and say, yeah, wow, totally, and actually point out that what he was saying didn't actually make sense. And it caught Joe off guard because he didn't really know how to respond.
Do you know how much we would be loving this if it never happened? Like if you never got to be around friends and just shoot the shit and smoke a cigar and laugh and crack up and talk about nonsense. Like comics are the best friends. They're the best friends to have because you could be open with them. They talk crazy. They say wild shit. You laugh together. You feed off of each other. They're the best friends. If you didn't have any comics for friends, there's a lot of fucking sad people out there.
Yeah.
So if you're not sad,
You
then
saying
you're-
comics aren't sad?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
some comics
Yeah,
are.
some comics
Some
are sad.
comics are sad.
Tears of a Clown.
Yeah, that's a little exaggerated. Like
Yeah.
comics are some awful narcissists.
Mm-hmm.
But you know when you really see that? When comics start attacking comics that are doing better than them.
Yeah.
'Cause it's only comics that are doing better than them. So what's happening? Comparison, the thief of joy. And so there's this feeling like, what about me, f*** Giannis? Why is he f***ing history hyenas? I don't give a f*** if they're back. F*** off.
Yeah. We are back.
Baby, I'm a baby. It's all about me. Everybody else sucks.
That's what it is.
Oh man, that is classic Rogan. Just keep going until they fucking laugh. At first they were like, what's Joe doing? And then they quickly realized he was trying to be funny, so they dialed in their fake laugh. It was either that or be forced to take another whiff of his armpits. By the way, did you guys know that Rogan keeps Andrew Dice Clay's cigarette butts in the ashtray and refuses to throw them out? Between Joe and Tony Hinchcliffe, they're single-handedly keeping Dice's career alive. And it sounds like Rogan's trying to keep his DNA alive too.
Am I supposed to just keep holding the cigar? You guys put it down.
No,
I put it down
you
every
put it
now
down.
and then.
So I just put it down, and now
don't
what?
do
Well,
it
that's
on
going to
paper.
set
Sorry
that on
about
fire.
that.
Yeah,
Jesus
that'll
Christ.
set the paper
Sorry
on fire.
about that.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Those are Dice's cigarettes in there, so don't take the cigarettes out. Take the f***ing ashtray.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
I
handing
don't know
you an
what to
ashtray.
do. This is fun, though.
Why do you want to keep Dice's cigarettes in there?
Because they're Dice's.
Yeah.
Oh!
What are we doing here, B? I'm telling you, there are some weird-ass humiliation rituals going on in that studio. I can only imagine what goes on in the comedy mothership green room. As for our boy Chrissy D, though, no matter how hard he tried, he just could not catch a break with Rogan. Even when he directed his talents at Jamie, it was a swing and a miss. And like I said in my previous video, mark my words, guys, this year we're going to see an episode of JRE where Rogan sits there and has an entire conversation with ChatGPT.
See how much stronger ChatGPT 5 is supposed to be than I think Sam Altman was saying. Like, just magnitude.
I know, but I still think it's theoretical because they're still going to move on to 4.5.
Yeah, that's not what I asked. Though.
I know,
like,
but
just Google how much strong.
Jamie just looks good in headphones.
Yeah.
Jamie always looks
You got a good headphone head.
Yeah.
Well, he's had a headphone on for a long ass time.
You can't paint the picture Jamie without those headphones on. You look good, dude. Damn, I walked Carl. Carl's pissed.
When
Carl's asleep.
Carl's asleep.
So you don't get an answer when you look at it.
Oh,
It doesn't say it.
So while Rogan's hanging out for ChatGPT version 5, we're all hanging out for another year of LOLCal podcasts. I'm declaring it right here in my first video for 2025. This will be the year of the LOLCal. If you missed the poll that I put up the other day, it's safe to declare Bert Kreischer the winner for 2024. So it's going to be interesting to see if he takes the crown for another year running or if another fallen assassin takes his place. We're expecting the final decision in Brendan Schaub's lawsuit appeal sometime soon as he manages to successfully draw it out into another calendar year. If the humiliation of losing the case last January wasn't enough, he went back for his hat and doubled down on his loss. So it's going to be pretty embarrassing for him if he loses again, given that the guy he's suing didn't even file a response to the appeal. It's Brendan against himself, and if history repeats itself, he'll find a way to lose even though there's nobody else in the room. As for Schultze, he's got his new comedy special coming out soon, so I'll be reviewing that like I did for Rogan's special over on Patreon. Also, I'm in the process of putting together a comprehensive breakdown of both Kill Tony end-of-year live shows, so check out the link in the description to my Patreon and get signed up so you don't miss out on those. I'll probably end up doing a 2-part series like I did for the MSG shows earlier last year. While you're here though, hit the subscribe button and make sure you give me a thumbs up if you ended up liking this video. Happy New Year, guys, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.
go ahead. Ask me to move my toe. Say move my toe. Say,
That
Chris,
is
move your toe. Somebody say
Move
it.
your toes.
Yeah, basketball feet like I do.
Yeah.
That's all I could do. You see?
LeBron's feet are like that too.